Hey everybody, this is Jennifer. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to discuss some stuff I've been reading and also just some stuff. One thing, fun news, on Friday I got my first COVID vaccine shot. It's the Pfizer. Went pretty well. My arm was sore for a couple of days, but other than that, I didn't really have any yucky feelings. And then my next shot is in 3 weeks. So that's usually the one that has the most issues, but I have heard that Pfizer did not have as many side effects as Moderna, but who knows. Anyway, finished a few things. March was weird because I had decided to try and read this for March of the Mammoths, and it was a bad decision. Because I could read like a couple of days, maybe like a week or two in one go, and then I had to put it down. So it's just, I'm not even at a year yet. But I'm going to keep going with this. I'm just not putting a timetable on it because trying to read this all in 1 month just did not work for me. And it meant pretty much that I wasn't reading anything else either. Because my thing is, if I get stuck on something, I get stuck pretty much everywhere. So I ended up watching like TV and stuff like that instead of reading. But near the end of the month, I actually got better at that. And I ended up reading 3 short pieces. So I'm not gonna go too deep into these. They're all, well, 2 of them are rereads, and then one is a novella that's in it's a side novella of a series that I read. So I read Rogue Protocol and Exit Strategy, which are books 3 and 4 in the Murderbot Diaries. Those were both rereads. I kept the same star ratings, 5 stars for Rogue Protocol, because the little Mickey sideline just like breaks my heart. And then Exit Strategy was 4. I don't feel like I can give my thoughts without giving spoilers, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. And these were both by Martha Wells. And then I read the novella What Abigail Did That Summer by Ben Aaronovitch, and that is a side novella for the Rivers of London series. And Peter Grant figures not at all. He's off doing something else. And then Abigail gets caught up in a case with missing children. So that's all I'm going to say about that too. Regarding like plot-wise, I will say though that I found it fairly disappointing. I'm typically not that into non-Peter Grant narratives, and this one I found parts of it quite tedious, which in a novella is kind of unforgivable. So that got 3 stars because I didn't hate it. It still got the sense of humor, and Abigail's a pretty interesting character. The parts that dragged were not about her. So I don't want to give anything else away about it, but yeah, slightly disappointing, but it was a quick read. So yeah, those were the 3 things that I finished in March. Though, to be fair, I think I actually finished Exit Strategy in April, but who's paying attention to that? So what I am doing right now for the month of April, I've been thinking a lot about it because I considered doing a TBR, but then I decided against it because I realized that I have 7 books currently on the go, and that is way too many. I don't like that. It makes me feel stressed, and it makes me avoid reading when I avoid reading when I feel stressed. So I am going to work on this. I'm going to try to get it down to 2 because I don't think the Iliad by Homer, which is on here, I don't think I'm going to finish that. And then the Shorter Pepys, I'm definitely not going to finish. I'm hoping I finish it by the end of the year. So finishing it in April is just simply out of the question. I think I want to try to get to The Enchanted April by Elizabeth von Arnim this month, but that really depends on how many of these books I can get finished. Okay, so I've already mentioned the Homer by Iliad and Shorter Pepys. Another book that has been on the back burner for a while is Belly of Paris by Emile Zola, and I find this really engaging. It's very funny. It's also, it's just got some interesting points of view regarding like upper middle class in the upper middle class in Paris. So I really want to finish this. It's got very interesting food writing. It's very sumptuous, and the characters are interesting. So it bums me out that this has been idle for so long. So finishing this in April is a priority. The other ones, let's see. Mythos by Stephen Fry, I've been listening to on audiobook. I'm at about 60% on that, so I don't foresee any kind of issue getting to that. I have been listening to it on my walks, and I haven't been doing those as much lately, so if I can get back into the habit of doing my walks, which is a goal for April, it's a non-bookish goal for April, then I will have no problem getting through Mythos. The Art of the Commonplace by Wendell Berry, which is a series of it's a collection of his agrarian essays. I put on the back burner at the end of February to concentrate on the Pepys, and I miss it. So going back to that, especially, I think that's going to be my morning reading. And I wake up early in the mornings, like around 5, and I just like to be quiet and read before I get up and start doing stuff. And I prefer like nonfiction for that. I was trying to read some Samuel Pepys, but I don't know. The Pepys just doesn't work for me all that well. Like when I read it, I like it, but I don't like want to go to it all that much, which I'm trying to work through. But The Art of the Commonplace was a collection of essays that I started a while back, and I want to finish because I was quite enjoying it. I'm 65% done, so I've only got like a third of the book left, and I don't imagine there's going to be any issues. So that leaves the 2 fiction books that I've recently started, and that is Network Effect by Martha Wells. So now that I have caught back up with my rereads of the original 4 novellas, I have started Network Effect. I'm about 10% in. I'm enjoying it so far. It's a fairly new kind of a thing because now Murderbot is back with his original group from the first book. And there's like complications from the previous 4 stories, so it's a new kind of a thing. So I'm getting back into it. I was going to wait, but to be perfectly honest, now that I'm on a roll with the Murderbot books, I wanted to keep going. And the 6th book, Fugitive Telemetry, is coming out on April 27th, so I want to be able to read that right away. So I'm reading that, and thanks to Matthew from Mayberry Book Club and Steve Donahue, I have decided to take up Brideshead Revisited in April. I'll link to the 2 videos announcing that in the description box. I am seriously enjoying that. Me and the book kind of got off to a bad start with the prologue. I'm trying to see if there's a reason why the prologue had to be that involved with military stuff. I kind of hope, well, no, I really hope that there comes to, like, at some point in the book, something helps explain to me why that has to be there, besides as like a framing device. Like, I don't know that it had to be that long, and I kind of found the prologue tedious. I don't know why it had to be like that to set up our current story, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I find some good reason why it's like that, because I did not like the prologue. Anyway, I am 25% into the book now, and I am really enjoying the proper, like, the first few chapters, the Oxford campus, the day drinking, yeah, everything happening on campus and at Brideshead and all, and Charles Ryder and his father. It's all been very good fun, and the writing is beautiful, and I'm learning a lot, and I'm keeping a note for every time I have to look up a word, and I think I've got 10 or 11 now. So I'll just like highlight it and put a note that says vocab so I can go back and look at these words again. And so, yeah, I love the writing. I love the feel of the story right now, besides the weird beginning. But yeah, I'm really glad I decided to pick that up. It was something I had wanted to read for at some point this year, and I'm pretty happy about it so far. That is what I'm reading. I have been, okay, so let me see if I can point you in that direction. We'll see. I have been hanging out over there on my patio in the afternoons. It's like my favorite reading spot now, especially in the afternoons. Well, not the afternoons, I'm working in the afternoons. In the early evenings is what I meant. And it's so nice outside. I have an awesome little like outdoor reading space. And so I've been coming out there and then reading a chapter of Brideshead Revisited every evening. And then I'm putting on like playlists and stuff. I made a patio playlist, and it's got hundreds of songs, or I'd put it down here. One of my favorite things right now is last year, late last year, I think, Ray LaMontage put out a new album, and it had been a while since I'd gotten any of his albums. He started back on that Supernova album, I think that's what it's called. Whatever, it's the one he did with Dan Auerbach. But he kind of changed up his sound a bit, and in a way I didn't really like all that much. So I lost, well, that and a concert. I went to a concert of his, and there was some obnoxious fan that was so bad it pretty much ruined the concert for me. And so this individual kind of ruined Ray LaMontage. Well, her and Dan Auerbach ruined Ray LaMontage for me for like 2-3 years. But I ended up buying this new album, and I was listening to it out on my patio, and I'm like, okay, for the most part, he's back. Like, he's still stretching his boundaries and stuff, but for the most part, the way he's doing that now is better for me as a listener. So I've been so enjoying Rediscovering Ray LaMontage. Yeah, anyway. So that's been my last few weeks. If you want, you can let me know how yours has been. I hope everybody's doing okay. Yeah. If you're celebrating Easter today, I hope you had a good Easter. I had a pretty decent one. Yeah, so back in the swing of things with April reading, trying to get that currently reading list down. I'll let you know how I do. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.